The market. The definition of market is often referred to the potential demand for a commodity, a service, or the actual state of trade. This week I learned that the term market has more meaning than the typical definition. Market throughout American history has changed and adapted by historical events and changes with class and culture. My primary source I selected is called The Collection. It targeted wealthy socialites and celebrities. Herman Delman created these shoes and opened a small custom shop on Madison Avenue in 1919. He gradually shifted to manufacturing of his shoes. This is a prime example of how the market during the 1930s focused on the social class and cultural effects of economic change in order to forge a closer relationship between political history and economic history. In this case, the evening pumps targeted the upper class but created jobs for the working class. And we explored class, culture, and discrimination with slavery. An example of how the Great Depression changed the market from local trading to a global market is how the market targeted women. Women gained more independence and an opportunity to work, and thus came the demand for new clothes. Unfortunately, the women's market was not acknowledged as it should have been. One of my secondary sources concerns women inequality. This article concerns the woman's role in the changing economy and the markets. As I read, but as a subsistence economy began to be replaced by a market economy in which more and more household goods were bought instead of made at home, women's household work became literally less valuable. A farm family could buy cloth instead of making it, could buy prepared foods, even canned foods, by the 1850s instead of preserving it themselves. Women's work became less crucial in the Jacksonian era as market goods increasingly replaced goods made in the home. Men and women's relationship to each other had radically changed. In light of this change and in light of the sweeping promises made by the American Revolution, Americans began reconsidering gender roles. The stock market crash was an event that inadvertently caused the Great Depression. The stock market crash affected everyone of all cultures and classes. One woman in this picture just immigrated from Denmark and bought a farm. Land values dropped significantly after the crash. Therefore, she owed to the bank more than what the land was worth. In the 1930s, the women were fearless. According to the article titled 1930s, The Women Were Fearless, it mentions the Detroit Housewives League, who took on the meat marketing industry itself. In 1935, the group burned a huge packing house in protest of high prices, and they joined thousands of Chicago housewives in a march that shut down the city's entire meat industry. This image depicts unity of the housewives. Notice in this graph how in the 1900s the number of women in the workforce was very low. Beginning in 1900 at only 5,319 women working. However, by 1940, the numbers of women in the workforce significantly jumped. In conclusion, I have learned that the market has a broad meaning concerning American history and culture. The role of race and gender played a key role in how the market is defined and changed throughout time.